Hello and welcome everyone to my channel, Tea Time and Spells. My name is Mellissa, and in today's video, we're gonna have just a nice, chill WIP chat. It's been a few weeks since I've done one. I've been very busy with just real life things, and then I've been working on my WIPs, my diamond paintings, and trying to make some good progress on them. And I thought, you know what? I'm in the mood to just do a nice diamond painting chill and talk event. So I thought I would just bring you guys on. And right now, I'm trying to change out the putty in my multi-placer, and I'm not very good with putty. It's one of the things I've been struggling with. I have a hard time putting it in, and I have a hard time taking it out, as you can see. If you guys have any tips about that, let me know. I'm more of a wax person. I seem to deal much better with the wax than I do with putty, but after kind of fiddling around with it and just kind of working with it these past few days, I could see why a lot of people like it, but like, as you can see, it's so stringy, it gets everywhere. This is the only putty I've ever worked with has been the putty that Diamond Art Club includes in their diamond paintings, and I know that there's better ones out there, but for the life of me, I don't know which ones I would prefer to go with, because right now, my overall opinion of putty is that it sucks. Like, I am not a fan of it. Oh, there's got to be a better way to do all this. Yeah, I'm thinking let's maybe put that aside and go back to the good old tried and true classic here of the heart-shaped wax. I will one day get a lot better with putty, but for now it's gonna be wax. And I think I'm gonna need to use up some of my wax just to get the darn putty out. Oh. Well, actually, I think it worked. Well, look at that. There we go. I have the putty on this end, and I think, yeah, that one needs to come out too. And I kind of have my table at an incline, so everything wants to just kind of slide, because I work off of a drafting table. Ugh, come out. So how have you guys been? Like I said, I've been very busy. We've had, gosh, it's been what, a few weeks since I've talked with you guys, so we've had a few things happen in the last couple weeks. The biggest thing has been just housing. So a couple weeks ago, I think it was Memorial Day weekend, our outdoor faucet that goes to like our garden hose burst in our basement when we went to turn on the water. And that was due to whoever plumbed it last time not knowing how to plumb. They did things very backwards, very not code, and made a big mess for us. So thankfully, my husband and I have quite a lot of experience with plumbing, since we had to re-plumb our entire upstairs bathroom. And we still had a lot of the supplies left. So thankfully, we just needed to grab a couple things from our local hardware store, and it was a 20-minute job, which actually only took 20 minutes. Most of the time, whenever you do a home project, it's longer than that. Whatever you estimate, oh, it's a 20-minute job. No, it ends up being like 2 days. But for us, it actually ended up being a 20-minute job, which was very nice. So that was our Memorial Day weekend project. And then this past weekend, we noticed a leak kind of happening from our upstairs bathroom. So we had to kind of create an access panel through our closet, because that was one thing we did not do. We did not leave an access panel for ourselves when we renovated it. That was a shame on us. We really should have. But we noticed one of the fittings had failed, so we just needed to replace the fitting, and then that stopped the leak. So that was good. By the way, kind of skipped over this. I'm currently working on Sisters of Fate right now by Chrisabug. And if you are a fan of Chrisabug and had your eye on Sisters of Fate, it actually just restocked on Diamond Art Club today, actually. Today is the 10th. So yeah, if you had your eye on Sisters of Fate by Chrisabug, now is the time. Now is the time to snag it. And for those of you wondering what it looks like, oh, it is this lovely piece, the Three Sisters of Fate. This is actually my entry into two of the DP alongs going on right now. The Myths and Legends DP along, and then the, I think, All Things Fantasy and Magical one. So yeah, currently I've got quite a lot of it done. I've got like the first 3 rows up top done. I like to work from the top right going left and then going down. So I am kind of right in the middle. It is a lot of color blocking, just so you know. So if you are a fan of color blocking, like I am, then you will love this piece. There is some confetti, like when you get to the actual hands here and like the bodies and stuff, there is some confetti, but realistically, like even here, there's just a lot of color blocking for the skin tone, and even bits of pieces of like the background is a lot of color blocking. So in general, this is a very color block heavy piece, but it makes it go quite nice and quick. It is a square piece, and I've noticed that the square drills for this piece and the charting have been great. If you hadn't been following me, I had done Dragon Artist recently, about a few weeks now, and Dragon Artist was pretty rough for me. The charting didn't seem to be very good, and the drills were very trash prone. Like, you're gonna get some trash, like I've gotten some trash in this piece, but it was a lot more trash prone in that particular kit, and it could have just been that one kit versus like that whole production line, but still unfortunate. So I've been very happy with this one. This one's been much better. So yeah, I've been working on this one, and I've also been working in tandem, Teatime Spell by Chrisabug, and that one is a round kit. So when I feel like I've gotten my feel for squares for the day or for the week, then I go ahead and I roll it up and pull out the other one. Oh darn, I need to get that more dirty for the ABs. So one thing, ABs are just, they like to stick. Although I've been watching a lot of the diamond painters who just came back from the diamond painting retreat, which looked like a lot of fun. I'll have to go on one maybe next year. But they were talking about this little item called like a lily pad, and it's a cover minder, but it's got like a little itty bitty like sponge in it, and you just get the little itty bitty sponge a little bit damp, and then what you would do is you would just like put the end of your pen on the little sponge, and it would wet it just enough that the ABs won't stick to your putty or your wax. I thought that was awesome. So I actually gave it a shot, and I dabbed some of my wax on my multi-placer. It was actually this one right here. This is my 7 placer, but it'll do 8 for squares. And because so much of this is all color blocking, there's one of the drills that is an AB, and it's this kind of, well, let's see if I can find it. It's this number 3 here, and at the very top, the girls have like ABs as their hair, and so I like to just multi-place those, but with ABs, they like to stick. So I wet it with just like a straw, and it works really well. I was actually very surprised by how well that worked. So yeah, if you're new to diamond painting like me, and you are having issues with ABs like me, give that a shot. That was a really cool little fun tip that I learned from watching some of them. So, and they were talking about that little lily pad, like cover minder thing that one of the Etsy shops does. I think they literally call it just a lily pad. And that actually seemed like a really cool idea. What a fun way to kind of get over the frustration of ABs that we all usually face. So yeah, let's see, what else has happened in the last couple weeks? I know. Diamond Art Club and their wonderful, poorly timed 7th anniversary sale. I say poorly timed because I had literally just spent a lot ordering a couple of kits from D-Stash groups and from Diamond Art Club like the week before. But that was really cool. So this is my first year diamond painting. For those of you who are new to my channel, I started January of this year, so January 2025. I didn't know Diamond Art Club had anniversary sales, although apparently last year they didn't. But I knew they had like a Black Friday sale. I had seen enough, I had heard enough from YouTubers about that, so I kind of expected that one. But the anniversary sale, that one kind of took me by surprise. And to see all the wonderful artwork, that was really cool. And I am so proud, I didn't buy a single one. Wish listed 3. Well, and let me take that back. I did end up buying one. I didn't buy it during the anniversary sale though. So the 3 that I had wish listed was Lavender Witch in Summer. That one was really pretty. The other one was, oh shoot, what was it? It was Lavender Witch in Summer. There was another witch one. And then there was Tarot by Simsy Art. And Tarot by Simsy Art was the one that out of all of them, that was the one that didn't sell out. There were quite a few that sold out like almost instantly. Underworldly Romance, the Persephone and Hades one by Chrisabug, yeah, that one went so fast. That one was really pretty. However, I kind of thought Hades and like the way Hades was either kissing Persephone or like if they were just like touching noses or something. Anyways, it just seemed kind of odd, like it didn't look as good as it could have. I was kind of put off by it, so it wasn't one of the ones that I cared for. Although I will say that I did appreciate the finished piece, and Katie from Diamonds and Washi, she showed that off because she was able to get a sneak peek of it, and she just plowed through it, like she finished it off so fast. Although it didn't look like it was a very large kit. Very pretty though when it was done. All of Chrisabug's works are very pretty. I don't resonate with all of them, but I do like her artwork and I appreciate her skill as an artist. But yeah, the Lavender Witch one, gosh, I'm trying to remember what the other one was. It was another one that sold really quickly. It was a huge seller. And I believe it was from another new artist. Oh, that's gonna bug me. It's gonna be on the tip of my tongue. But the ones that I actually really wanted, though, was Tarot by Simsy Art. But I swore to myself I wasn't gonna buy any more. I really needed to not spend money, and you know, we're trying to save up for a car, and the last thing I need to do is spend money on diamond painting, as enjoyable as the hobby is. Well, I did good. up until, 2 days ago? 3 days ago? I believe it was Monday. It was Sunday or Monday. Diamond Art Club had their most recent restock. And I only have a few on my wish list. Of the few that are on my wish list, there was only one Diamond Art Club painting that I had my eye on since it was released. And I swore, and I even told my husband this months ago, that whenever it restocked, I was absolutely going to grab it no matter what. And that piece was Spooky Gamer Girl by Rosie Scribbles. Oh my gosh, you don't know how fast I checked out as soon as I saw that notification pop up from Diamond Art Club. I screamed and I went so fast on my phone. I went through the app, not realizing that I had Tarot by Simsy Art already in my cart from last time, just in case I decided I wanted to grab it. And I was like, no, I'm gonna be good. And then, and then Spooky Gamer Girl gets released, and I'm like, okay. I checked out so fast. Thankfully, I had the VIP code in my cart with Tarot by Simsy Art, so I got the discount. But I was so quick on it. And then my husband's like, I thought you said you weren't gonna buy anymore. And I'm like, but it's the one that I've been waiting months for. And he says, I thought it was supposed to restock in like a few months. And I'm like, it has been. And that's the thing. It was released, January, early February, I think, of this year. And I'm like, yeah, it usually takes a few months for it to restock. Well, sure enough, it's been a few months. And that was so trippy to realize that I'd been doing this for a few months already. And it was already restock time for the one I really wanted, which was kind of a relief when you think about it, because, I think as a society, we're very used to, we want it now, and we're not very patient. And even though we know it will restock, we want it now. We don't want to miss out the whole FOMO culture and everything. But I was very happy that I was able to get it. And I told my husband, that's it, no more. I will uninstall Diamond Art Club if you want me to. And he's like, no, you don't need to do that. But seriously, we need to save money for a car. Okay. So I have Tarot, and I've got Spooky Gamer Girl coming, and I'm super excited. So I did technically get one from the 7th anniversary sale, just not during the anniversary itself, even though it was, like a 25% off code or something like that. That was hard to resist. That was really hard to resist. But still, I got the one I really wanted. And that was definitely the one I really wanted. I wanted Spooky Gamer Girl, and Tarot was actually one I really wanted. So the fact that they were still available, that Tarot was still available, a couple weeks later, I was happy about that because I got to snag those. And now I think I've got 10. I've got either 8 or 10 in my stash, which is a nice, healthy amount. I don't want to go above 10. I swore I never would. And, right now, if I do approximately 2 a month, then, I'll have plenty to get me through the end of the year. And it's not that I'm not going to get any more. It's just for the next couple months, kind of going to lay off on getting any more for a little bit. Not to mention, big exciting news for us is we adopted a bearded dragon. So we used to own a bearded dragon about 1.5 years ago. His name was Inferno. He was the cutest little guy. And unfortunately, he developed bone cancer. And it was a very aggressive cancer, and he passed away about 3 weeks after he was diagnosed. So he didn't suffer for very long, and we made sure that his final days were as comfortable as we possibly could before saying goodbye to him. But he was only like 1.5 years old. Like, he was not very old. Bearded dragons, if you you know, have their habitat, their tank and everything just on point with their heat and their diet and everything, they can live for over 10 years. I mean, I've heard anything from between 10 to 20 develop depending on the dragon, and you know, as long as you give him the best environment he can live in. So we were very bummed when Inferno passed away, and that was a good year and a half ago. And you know, we'd been contemplating on if we wanted another one, and I wanted one. I really missed the little guy, and you know, I was really kind of getting in the mood to maybe get another one into the family. And then finally I reached out to a well-known breeder who's been doing it for decades, and just so happened that she had a clutch that was born in March. So he's just a little guy, and he's gonna have just the most beautiful colorings of red and orange. He's gonna be gorgeous when he gets older. And apparently, for as young as he is very calm when you hold him. He's not skittish. I fully expect him to be scared and very skittish when we bring him home, especially since, you know, we live in South Dakota, and the nearest, you know, the breeder that we're getting him from is Arizona. So he's on a plane right now, headed to us. He's going to be overnighted, so he'll be here tomorrow morning, hopefully bright and early, so I can get him into a cage where it's warm and toasty. We got it all set up for him, and hopefully he'll enjoy it. But yeah, that's very exciting, because, you know, we've been contemplating it for, probably a good 6 months now, and, you know, just kind of waiting for the right time, and, you know, waiting until, you know, we felt it was the right time. And when I happened to see him on the website, when I reached out, I knew when I saw him that it was time. He was the one. So that's exciting. We'll have a new member of the family. And as soon as he comes in, I'm gonna have to show pictures to you guys, because yeah, he is just a cutie. If I remember, I'll actually post him in the video right now, right here. But yeah, so that's our fun excitement. We have a new member of the family joining us tomorrow, as long as everything goes well. Cross your fingers it does. No turbulence, no severe weather, nothing like that. And yeah, so we've got that. He's got himself a nice cage all set up for him. My husband has actually been working on a custom background for the last few months now. Like, we've been seriously considering for the last few months to getting a dragon, and in preparation he started a really cool rock background made out of insulation, cement, and grout. And he even bought a cool insulation wire cutter to give it like a really cool edged appearance, almost like bricks. It turned out amazing, and he highlighted it with varying degrees of black and gray coloring to give it some depth and shadow. Oh, it looks so good. And the nice benefit is the tank that we have for him. It's a good sized tank. It's a 4-foot by 2-foot enclosure, so a nice amount of room. And the insulation from the new background keeps it nice and toasty in there, which is awesome, because bearded dragons love the heat, and South Dakota is not known for heat, quite the opposite. So it'll be nice to see his enclosure and his temps be nice and stable for him. Yeah, and I even have a name picked out for him. I'm thinking I'm gonna call him Drago. The family wants to maybe call him Bowser, but I think that's more of a dog name than a dragon name. I like Drago. I think that sounds cooler. Sounds more like a dragon name. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. But yeah, do any of you guys have any have any fun pets, any reptiles. I know I see a lot of you guys have cats and dogs. I have seen in the diamond painting Facebook group that a couple have bearded dragons that like to just kind of hang out on the table next to them and just watch them. So for those who are not very familiar, bearded dragons, I like to think of them as hairless cats. They have so much personality. They're the cutest thing, but like similar to cats, they can care less, like if you are constantly there around them. Like they don't mind being all by themselves for hours on end. You know, there are some who are attention seekers and, you know, love to be outside their enclosure and stuff. And, you know, we are going to have a setup. It's actually something I'm going to be working on. Is I bought a cat tree, and I'm going to rip off the carpet and everything because, yeah, bacteria, and plus you don't want the claws to get stuck in the carpet. But I plan on ripping off the carpet, putting down some non-skid material, something that would be easy on the nails, something that they could easily climb, like maybe do like a bark or something. I don't know yet, but kind of create a nice little climbing perch for the dragon that will be in the living room, and it'll have a nice heat lamp attached at the very top so that it could be nice and toasty while looking outside, because our last dragon loved having a perch just like right next to the sliding glass door. He loves just looking outside and just watching the birds, but being safe inside, not having to worry about, you know, predators coming after him and stuff. And so we're hoping to get that done. And during the winter time, it'll be a nice place for him to kind of look outside. Even when it's colder than heck outside, he'll have a nice warm perch where he'll be grateful he's inside toasty warm instead of being outside freezing cold. But yeah, what pets do you guys have? I would love to see pictures. I don't know if you can comment pictures or not in YouTube comments, but if you can, I would love to see your guys' pets. I love seeing diamond painting buddies in the Facebook groups and on the subreddits. They always make my day. Love seeing our little babies, our other children. Because my son doesn't really care so much about diamond painting. He's happy, I'm happy, and that's about it. Has no desire to do it himself, which, fair enough. It's not for everybody, and that's okay. Although he did tell me that he thought it was kind of exciting. He goes to the Boys and Girls Club during the summer, a few days a week. And he mentioned that they were doing a diamond painting class, and he thought that was kind of cool and shared it with me when he came home that day. So diamond painting is definitely hitting the mainstream, which I think is awesome. It's a fun craft and definitely one that is underrated, but definitely gaining more popularity these days. So it is officially the second week of June. Most people are out for the summer, kids or yourself if you're lucky. What summer plans do you guys have? You guys gonna be doing any camping, going on vacation, going to any kind of camps, retreats, anything like that? My son is going to be going to summer camp the last weekend of June, and he'll be gone for a week in Minnesota, so the next state over, and he'll be going with a couple of his friends, so that'll be nice, and he'll make some new friends. He went last year and he enjoyed that, so he'll get to do that this summer. And then I am going to be going to California California for a week, the beginning of August, to see some family. So my family and my husband's family actually all live in California, except for my parents and my sister and her family. She married a local. My husband is from California. And gonna get some much needed vacation time with the family out in California. At the beginning of August, we're gonna be there for a week, and that'll be really fun. It's gonna be my mom, my sister, and myself. We plan on doing a family trip, my husband, myself, and our son, probably in the next year or two. It's kind of expensive going to California, especially when you can sometimes go for cheaper to a whole new country. So it makes it a little difficult because, yeah, I'd love to see my family, but at the same time, it's like we grew up in California. I'd like to see some sights. So we're planning on when we go to California with our son to take him to see the sights of California. So going down the coastline, maybe go see the redwoods. Those are gorgeous. Wine country is beautiful. There's Disneyland. We've been to Disney World, but Disneyland and Disney World are very different. Very, very different. I think I prefer Disneyland better than Disney World because it's not so massive. Disney World is literally its own city. Disneyland, you can actually see the entire park in a day. You can't do that with Disney World. It's darn near impossible. I mean, I suppose you could if you like really min-maxed it and all that, but if you're just trying to have a nice leisurely stay at Disney World, which I guess that's kind of a hypocritical statement right there, because Disney World's not relaxing. Fun, but not very relaxing. Like, you have to always be on your phone when you're at Disney World. I don't know if Disneyland's the same way. Probably. But, like, if you want to go on any of the rides, you have to always be on your phone getting... Well, it was called Fast Pass. I think it's, Genie? Lightning Pass? Something like that nowadays. But you always have to be on your phone to snag reservations for a restaurant, or to, get your passes for the next ride, and you have to like constantly scroll and refresh just to get your spot. The last time we went to Disney World was shortly after they opened up, after the pandemic closed them down. So 2021? You had to wear the masks, and they didn't have the Fast Pass system in place. You had to do it the old school way by just lining up. And they had like the every 6 feet markers and stuff. I'll tell you what, it was the most relaxing vacation we'd ever had to Disney World. Because like nobody was breathing down your neck when you were waiting in line. And you didn't have to worry about fast passes. You just waited in line. You chose the ride you wanted to go on, and you waited in line for it, and that was it. It was great. Now I think it's all hooked to your phone, and you kind of miss the moment and the joy because you're stuck to your phone. But yeah, I don't know if Disneyland's the same way or not. Probably. But I'm very familiar with Disneyland. I'm not as familiar with Disney World, so I definitely needed the map for assistance the last time we went. And it's very expensive. I swear you need to take out a second mortgage to go to Disney World or Disneyland these days. The Disney company definitely know what they're doing in that regard. You definitely make magical memories, but they're just expensive memories. There we go. All right, making good progress. My goal for this piece right here is to hopefully get it all completed by the end of the month. I don't know if I'll be able to do it or not. It's a 22 by 28, so not too terribly large. We'll see. I'm kind of going through it pretty quickly because of the color blocking. That, and I'm just enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun with this one. And it's kind of been getting me in the mood for like more of the Greek god kind of paintings, and even the books that I've been reading. Because I've read, I finished quite a few recently, actually. I read them at work when I'm not so busy, which has been quite a bit lately. I don't have as much time to read these days, but that's a good problem. Job security.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing
But one of the books that I just finished reading was called Enigma, and it was classified like, I think the blurb on it was something about like a god of the underworld meets like Fourth Wing or something like that, like one of the famous romantasy series. But I remember looking at the cover thinking, oh, that looked like an interesting book. And it was an awesome book. I really enjoyed it. I think the author's name was Runex, and I think they were well known for like another series before kind of taking like a little bit of a hiatus for some personal reasons and then coming back with this one. It was really good. It was a story, it's a dark academia one, which was really a fun read anyways. But the main character, she reminds me of Bones from the Bones TV series, because she had that very clinical, kind of detached mind and personality. And then she meets an artist who's similar with like the morbid curiosity kind of aspect. It was really good. I wouldn't classify it as anything to do with like the underworld or the whole Hades Persephone tragedy thing though. So I don't know where they were getting that from, but it definitely was a dark academia one, and it was very good. It had a really cool concept with her looking at things from a more factual, logistical, cynical kind of way. And they had a really good chemistry together. I will say that the ending kind of was a little bit of a letdown, just because there was so much build up to it, and then it just kind of fell a little bit. Like they unloaded everything so fast that they gave you the answers way too quickly. So that was kind of a letdown. Not that the ending was bad or anything, just the main climatic point, the main battle, if you want to call it that. It wasn't really a battle, but the main point of everything coming together was just so quick. Like, you know, you had all these clues and everything you were looking into for the entire book, all these little strings you were placing together, and then all of a sudden she just gave you all of it in like a chapter or two. And it was kind of a little bit reeling. But other than that, it was a very good series. I finished that one last week, and then another book I finished actually today was Phantasma, and that was a very interesting book. It's about a necromancer who willingly goes into a house that acts as like a face your fears and win a bunch of money. What's the name of that mansion where people will go in and like not necessarily get tortured, but they have like all their worst fears plagued on them? Was it McCory Mansion or Beck? God, I don't remember what it is, where you have to like sign a waiver just to enter it, and the grand prize is like money and stuff. It was a similar concept to that, except for it's a bunch of demons called devils that operate it, and if you win against the other contestants, then you get your greatest wish come true. And like all the trials, all the levels that they do, one each night, is based off of the 7 deadly sins. And that was a really cool concept. I really liked that. That was a really cool read and a very, very interesting concept. And it was a good book. I enjoyed it. Not like the best book I've ever read, but I would definitely rate it a good 4 stars. It was entertaining and it was a good concept. I enjoyed that. And there's a sequel about the main character's sister who she entered to try to save. And the sequel is about her sister and her point of view. So I'm probably going to maybe read that one next because both of the books that I read, so the first one was called Enigma, and then the one I just finished today is called Phantasma. Both of those are available on Kindle Unlimited. So if you happen to have that service, then definitely read those. They were very interesting. But now I need to pick up a book that's more based off of the Greek gods and preferably like the Hades and Persephone tale, because I'm in a Greek god kind of mood and want to read something along those lines. And I know that there's quite a few series out there that fit that bill. And I'm gonna have to see which one I want to start next. So if you guys have any suggestions, any recommendations, put them in the comments below. I would love to add them to my TBR, which is getting a little long. I need a tracker for that. Right now I kind of just screenshot pictures and put them in my phone. But I need a better method for it for sure. And I think Goodreads might have something along those lines. On a different note, I did find a tracker for my diamond paintings to keep track of what I've got, what I've started, and my wish list. Jim's Flow, I'm sure most of you guys have heard it if you've been diamond painting for a while. But for those of you who are new, like me, Jim's Flow is it's a pretty good app where it allows you to take a picture of the diamond painting kit that you have, and you can categorize it based off of if you've ordered it, if you've started it, if you've completed it, and even if you've sold it, actually, which is really cool. The only downside I don't like about it is the fact that it doesn't automatically give you a point to put in like the artist. There's a section where you just put like notes, and that's where I put the artist information down. But it would be nice if there was a section, like a category automatically set aside for you to put the artist information, because I think that would be really good to categorize the artists as well. And maybe there is, and I'm just missing it because I have just recently looked into it, but everything I've seen in it has been just your basic how many drills, what type of drill count, if it's a partial or a full drill, that kind of information. It doesn't put down like the artist name. It even has like the shop information where you could put down the shop's name and the URL, but weird that it doesn't have the artist. Dang it, my wax keeps sticking. Oh, I need that lily pad thing. I need to wet it. Let's see. Do I have a water? Here we go. Just a little dab for my ice. There we go. Let's see if that does the trick. Ah, much better. Yeah, see, what a cool trick. Oh, that works out so nicely. It gives you just enough of a barrier that it doesn't stick to it. Oh, I love that. So yeah, if you're looking for a nice tracker, the Jim's Flow app definitely worked well for me. I know that there's another one, but it's not available on iOS, I think. Or maybe it's the Jim Flow app and it's not available on Android. Something like that. I have an iPhone, so it was available for me. So apologies if Jim's Flow isn't available for Android users or not. I don't have an Android, so I can't tell ya. But And then, oh, thank you. And then I keep saying this every time, and I need to just sit down and do it, but I need to get my journal going for my diamond painting completions. I have all the stickers and everything ready to go. I just need to sit down one night and just do it. And you know what? Maybe I should do that after I'm done talking to you guys. Maybe I should put a pin in this and get to work on my journal pages for the diamond paintings that I've completed this year. Because I've got, let's see, I did Lavender Cat, Dragon Artist, Cauldron of Myrrh, and Dragon and Books. In addition to that, I've got 3, I believe, that were from Amazon that I need to make mention of in my journal as well. So yeah, I got a few pages I need to work on. I'm getting a little behind on that, and I don't want to get behind on that because I think it would be really cool to look at the end of the year or when the journal is done and to see all of these things that I accomplished throughout the year. All the books that I've read, all the diamond paintings that I've done, and kind of like my thoughts and feelings on them. One thing I've been very happy about is the fact that I have been reading more. I kind of stopped reading for a little bit, kind of got into a funk where I just wasn't in the mood, and I'm happy that I have rediscovered my joy of reading because it's such a good, it's a really good hobby. It's very good for you. It's very good for your brain, and it's nice to kind of take a break from reality sometimes. Oh. All right. Well, on that note, I think I'm going to end this WIP Chat here. Thank you for hanging out with me and listening to me ramble on about everything going on in my life. And I look forward to hearing your guys' contributions in the comment section below. You know, what pets do you guys have? What's going on in your summer schedule? You know, what books are you reading? Do you have any recommendations for books for me to try out? Anything that kind of fits the... Yeah, I'm feeling the Greek gods theme right now. I've been on a fairy kick and dragons and stuff, but I'm feeling the Greek gods right now. So yeah, if you have any good romance, Greek god myths, let me know in the comment section below. I would love to hear some of your guys' suggestions and bonus points if it's available on Kindle Unlimited, since I've got that. And it's much easier for me to access at work. All right, well, that's going to be it for me for this one. Thank you again for hanging out with me, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.